Armor is something that you definitely want on the trail to add protection to your Wrangler from any unexpected blows, from branches or other obstacles in off-camber situations. You can add rock sliders, skid plates, and bumpers, but you can also add some stronger fenders to upgrade your trail protection. These steel flared fenders by Barricade will give you the protection for your body panels that you may be looking for, as well as a very aggressive aesthetic. The flat flare will allow you to fit a larger tire, and they'll offer more articulation off-road. This version here will also allow a little bit more coverage for a wider tire. Installing this, guys, is not going to be easy and will require some drilling and modification to get these on, so I have to rate this a 3 out of 3 on the difficulty meter, and I'll explain more about the install in just a moment. When it comes to fender flares, there are a ton of options, and really there are 2 ways that you can go, personal preferences behind them included. You can go with a plastic fender that might not hold up as well off-road to obstacles, but if they do take a hit, they can and they most likely will bend, break, or fling off. And then you have a solid metal fender like this that will not bend or break, but if it does take a hard enough hit, you can transfer that impact into the body panels of the Jeep, causing extra damage. However, these are solid and will provide much more protection to your Jeep overall. It all comes down to personal preference, like I said, and what you're looking for in a fender flare. These are well made and definitely able to stand up if they do take any hits on the trail. The fender flares are made of a heavy-duty 3/16 inch steel with a 2 by 1/10 inch tubing on the outer edge of the flare itself. The fenders have a 2-stage textured powder coat finish that will resist any rust or corrosion in the long haul and easily stand up to what gets thrown at them. Like I mentioned before, this option has a bigger flare than other Barricade options, and it measures about 3 inches for extra coverage over your tire, and it'll protect your YJ's body a little bit better. Other options don't include the flare, and they come with just a tube fender that's tucked into the body of the YJ a little bit more. The width on this will be able to catch a branch or any debris and keep it away from your body panels a little bit better since you have a little bit more coverage. Not only are they wide, they will be flat with no overhand, so they will allow a taller tire and a lot more articulation off-road, and that's something that your stock fender flare couldn't give you. What I really like about these fenders is the vent on the side that is not just aesthetically pleasing, but it is functional, because it'll give your engine a little spot to breathe a little bit better. This is a nice touch for when you're heating up on the trail and you don't have much airflow going through your radiator. For front fender flares, these are priced very fairly at around $280. There are not many like this on the site for a YJ, but we do have another option by Barricade and by Smittybilt. The smaller version of these flares goes for around $250, but it will offer less protection. We do also have a more expensive option by Smittybilt, but it's a bit of a different design that does not have the flare or the vent, but it does provide a bit more steel for protection off-road. Overall, this is right in the middle with price, and if you're looking for an aggressive tube fender for more up travel and protection off-road, this will be it. Install is a 3 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter because there's drilling and modification required on this one. If you're at home, guys, this should take you right around 3 to 4 hours with some hand tools and a drill. First things first, you have to remove the fenders and the side steps if you have them, and unplug your signal lights from the fender. Then you can remove the bolts underneath the side fender and the rear fender wall, as well as the hood latch. Keep the hardware since you will need to reinstall the new fender with the original hardware. Now, we're going to have to chop up the stock fender, so create a template with some cardboard, lining up the front of the cardboard with the metal piece on the headlight, creating a starting point. From that, you can start with your detailed width measurements from the front of the fender to the back. After your template is marked, you can start cutting the OE fender off and unbolt it from the body, cutting the inner fender down. Then you can put the new fender on and reinstall those bolts on the side that you just took off. You're going to have to mark and drill some holes from underneath for your hood latch. After your hood latch is reinstalled with the Allen screws, you're all set. So if you're looking for some solid protection and more articulation off-road for your YJ, these Barricade tube fenders will be just for you. This is Meredith with XT, and you can find these and everything else Wrangler right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.